Hello there, UFL Jim here. We just had a very interesting weekend of UFL action. Week 9 in the books. I am here to help you process what you may be feeling as we enter the near end of the season. We kind of hold on to every moment that we can. This is one of those moments. This was one of those weeks. It was so special. Let's get into it. It's all about me. It's the UFL show with UFL Jim, your one-stop shop for all things United Football League. We have a sexual
Here's to you,
tension. We have
Memphis
the heat. We have the power. We have the news. It's all here on the UFL show with UFL Jim. Oh boy, week 9 was one for the books. It was so exciting. I had so much fun. The games were amazing. It was chaos abound. I mean, I didn't know what to expect coming into this week, and it still delivered. I didn't know what was happening, twists and turns. We saw 11 different quarterbacks, 12 if you count Holt Nailers. If you count him getting a couple plays in there, and he got a touchdown, so I'm going to say it. We got 12 different quarterbacks. I was so happy because this is the time of year. We're in week 9, going into week 10. This is the time where you just have to sit back, look at the season kind of as a whole, share the memories, get a little nostalgic. This is when we all figure out, oh, it goes way quicker than any of us expect. Some takeaways, though, from week 9. I am not 100% sure if a majority of these coaches understand the UFL's PAT system of going for 1, 2, or 3. Remember, there's no kicking in the PAT in the UFL, and I just don't feel like coaches know when it's smart to go for 1, 2, or 3. I saw a lot of things this weekend, and I've seen a decent amount this season. I'll do the math once the season's complete. But I just feel like the coaches and the staffs don't understand the whole system. But I felt this way for many years. Like XFL Jim felt this in 2020. XFL Jim felt this in 2023, and even to some extent USFL Jim, because there was a different sort of PAT system in the USFL in 22 and 23, but watching this for 2 years now, these coaches don't understand what to do. Skip Holtz, I'm just going to come out and say it. The way J. Smith has immediately come into this team and boosted the offense and made things happen and done damage, and what Skip Holtz has had to do navigating quarterback injuries with this team, the leader of your offense, the leader of your team, they've gone through 5. They've had 5 different quarterbacks start games. And the way he has sort of navigated through all of that, he's easily the coach of the year. And I know we've been saying week in and week out, this isn't the Birmingham Stallions of yesteryear. Yes, I don't believe they're as good of a team overall as we saw last year, 23-22, but I feel like the coaching job he's doing is some of the best that I have seen from Skip Holtz. It is absolutely magnificent. I wouldn't be upset if a guy like Shannon Harris gets needed just because of the whole turmoil and the staffing issues of DC and being thrust into the position of head coach like that, and kind of where he's gotten, and the fact that when we were coming into this season, no one knew what to expect. It would have been so understandable if the defenders just crumbled and did nothing at all this season. But he has righted the ship. He has done a very, very good job. I wouldn't be upset with him either as the coach of the year. Those are kind of the two that I have going right now. Mike Nolan, to an extent, but he's kind of anti-coach of the year for the dual quarterback stuff that he's done all season. Anthony Becht, pretty good job. Good job getting to the playoffs again. Probably the best record the Battlehawks are going to have ever this season, but there's just so many better options. And last little take, it's nice to see the backups get play. Quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, defensive side. It's good to see more players get some time to shine because I know. We're all UFL here. UFL till I die. And you know how much I hate the people talking about feeder league or a pathway to the NFL. But be realistic. A lot of these guys, to some of these guys, are either going to retire from football or get into the NFL. And they're going to try and stay in the NFL as long as possible. So it's nice to see some of these up-and-comers, guys that we might see, we might be able to get more familiar with in the next couple seasons of the UFL. That's been a very beautiful thing to watch. All right, so we're going to be doing it a little bit differently this week. So normally I kind of introduce a guest, Chef Jim for his segment, Tick Goblin here, blah, 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 blah. But what I'm going to do this time is bring on someone for each and every game. So we have Hot Tub Jim, one of the wisest gyms in the Gymiverse, coming here to help us and give his opinions, his quick, smart, witty opinions on each and every game. Yeah, it's me, Hot Tub Jim here. You know how it is. Sometimes you just gotta lay back, relax. Come on, Jim. Do it with me now. Relax. That's it, buddy. Starting off, we have number 1, Friday night. St. Louis Battlehawks, San Antonio Brahmas. Battlehawks get it 39-13. The Brahmas are a pitiful, pitiful organization. But dang it, Kellen Mond gets the start. Best game of his season so far. The stats don't fully show it. If you just look at the paper, if you're one of those guys who only paper watches, you're not watching the actual game. You don't have eyes for the football being played. He looked good. I'm just going to say, he looked good out there. He is not the main reason why the Brahmas lost this game. It was inopportune moments, unluckiness being a factor, like turnovers, there is luck involved, because the Brahmas would march down the field, and then they would do a turnover on downs because of a bad play. Or they would fumble the ball because of someone being stupid. The main reason why the Brahmas lost this game is the fact that their defense could do nothing, and I mean nothing, to stop the St. Louis Battlehawks. Jacob Sailors ran all over him, Max Duggan threw all over him, and Brandon Silvers threw all over him too. The Battlehawks could do whatever they wanted to the San Antonio Brahmas. They just kind of bent them over, and they just went to town spanking that ass for hours. Absolute hours. Josh Corbin for the Brahmas, though. Dude, I'm just going to come out and say it. Dude, some of these guys, it pains me to see great players and people who I love to watch on teams like this. Josh Corbin being one of them. John Trey Kirkland being another. It just, it hurts my soul. Another big factor was the big play difference between these two teams. The Battlehawks had 6 big plays of like 20 yards or more. The San Antonio Brahmas, 0. Absolutely 0. And people are saying out there, the streets are saying, does St. Antonio have a quarterback controversy? The answer is no, but also maybe. Let's just take a look at the two guys we had. So you got Max Duggan, you got Brandon Silvers. You got Max Duggan here on this side. He has all the intangibles in the world. He's got just this invisible force that he will will a team to victory. He will put a team on his back. He has a clutch factor that is hard to deny. But man, it is hurtful the way this man throws a football. It makes my shoulder hurt watching him try and throw a football every single week. He has to be so predictive with the way he does it, and that's just not a recipe for consistency that you want to see out of a quarterback. But everything else, he runs it like crazy, and he just rallies a team around him like so few quarterbacks can do. Then you got Brandon Silvers. He played the second half, and he's just slinging dimes. He's looking fun. He's looking fast. He's got a quick release. He's accurate. He's getting it in on time, and it's a beauty to watch. But I don't know if he has all those other intangible factors that you want in a quarterback. So St. Louis, they're in a very good position because they have 2 great quarterbacks back there. And San Antonio, I don't know, man. You got blown out, but it was a very, very fun blowout in my opinion. What do you think, Hot Tub Jim?
My take for this game. I think St. Louis might have a quarterback controversy. You got one quarterback who is gritty, determined, will do anything it takes to win, and wills his team to victory. And another one who can throw the ball. So, I don't really know what you do right there. It's a tough spot to be in if you're the Battlehawks. The Brahmas stink.
Game number 2, we head to Memphis, where the Renegades took on the Showboats after a terrible weather delay. The Renegades ended up winning this one 30-12. Not a ton of people in the stands. That's all I'm going to comment on it, because I see people and outlets out there blaming Memphis for this one, and I wouldn't blame the show, but I'm not going to put this season at all on the Showboats. We've already discussed enough that it's mainly on the league and the league office. But when you have a weather delay like that and your team is 2 wins, already knocked out of the playoffs, already hasn't been getting a ton of people going to games, I'm not going to put too much stock into that for 1 week. However, though, the Memphis Showboats as a team, gritty, tough, scrappy. These are all words I'd use to describe them. You know what words I wouldn't use to describe them? Winners. They've won 2 games, both in overtime. The quarterback play this game was just meh. It was just meh. Like, Dresser Wynn didn't look good. Love didn't look good. Nothing. They could do nothing at quarterback, it felt like. The turnovers were brutal. Shout out the Renegades defense in a bounce back spot after they just got decimated by DC. But the Showboats, man, the offense it was back and forth, and then eventually the Renegades just sort of like took it away. They could kind of just do whatever they wanted, especially in the second half. And when they can run the ball, you see what happens. When the Arlington Renegades can run the ball, you see the damage that they can do. They were having fun out there. They were messing around. Marquette King with the fake punt. Mwah, chef's kiss. One of my favorite plays of the entire year. Tyler Vaughn's worth the price of admission on his own. And the Arlington Renegades had this much of a blowout while still committing 11 penalties. 11 penalties. This team has been sloppy, undisciplined, and neurotic all season. And honestly, it's what cost them a spot in the playoffs. Because as much as we'll say, and I will be at the forefront saying, this team is unlucky, and they are unlucky, but they don't set themselves up to be in a position to be lucky. They set themselves up on this balance beam of, we get leads in the first half and then choke them away. Or we're back and forth, and then it comes to the end of the game, our defense chokes it away, or we have a dumb penalty or do something like that. That happened in this game. It just so happens that they're against a Showboats team who is not very good. And especially on offense, can't produce much. So, congratulations, Arlington. You dominated this one. You still had to be thinking about what if. And kind of just, if you're watching any Renegades games, if you're going to watch them week 10, which you better, just kind of hold on. This might be Luis Perez's last season. It's kind of had the vibes of that. So every game we see now might be his last. And I just want to hold on to those moments. What about you, Hot Tub Jim?
Those Arlington Renegades. Penalties. They keep hurting themselves, and they should have been in the playoffs. I don't know. This team has been good all season, but they kill themselves and just get so unlucky. Memphis, they're a scrappy team. It's the perfect way to describe the Memphis Showboats. Scrappy.
Moving on to game number 3, we had the always classic Michigan Panthers versus the Birmingham Stallions, with the Stallions, of course, winning 26-22. This game is always a classic, always fun, and it always ends the same way, with the Birmingham Stallions claiming victory. This was so back and forth. The Panthers were looking great to start the game, with the Stallions looking a little bit choppy, And then all of a sudden, Jamar Smith, the dude who is made out of pure dog. He's got that dog in him. Oh my God, he was so good. He is so damn good. Etling, by the way, for Michigan, has looked good in relief of Bryce Perkins. So credit to him. I'm not going to put this on his back, but the Michigan DBs were just getting torched, especially so demoralizing. When Birmingham would be on a 3rd and 10, a 3rd and 15, a 3rd and 8, they would always seem to convert it. It could be 3rd and 22, and the Birmingham Stallions would find a way to convert that. I almost trust Jamar Smith when he's behind center and leading this team. I trust him more on a 3rd and 20 than I do a 3rd and 3. He just has that weird it factor that just makes it so that he just can stick daggers in you. And those are so demoralizing as a defense. Honestly, both defensive backfields were kind of weak this game. Michigan had a little bit better of a run game, but that's just because recently Birmingham hasn't been able to run the ball super fantastic. And they had some turnover issues. I don't know. This team has a lot going for it. There are weaknesses. I'll get to that later, but this team is so damn good. And Deon Cain. It's so nice to see some star wide receivers kind of emerge in this league. Deon Cain back in the limelight. Everyone talking about him. I missed him because he's got just a swagger. He's got an energy, and I love this guy. So fun. I can't wait to see this matchup again in a couple weeks for the USFL Conference Championship. It's always fun. It always delivers. Maybe Michigan can get out of their head and figure out a way to finally beat the Stallions. Maybe Bryce Perkins is the answer. Maybe that's what it'll take. But until then, I expect it to be back and forth and the Stallions to win almost every time these teams play. What about you, Hot Tub Jim?
Panthers, Stallions, Michigan, Birmingham. Always a classic. It always ends the same way. Birmingham Stallions taking a big old dumper right on the Michigan Panthers' hopes and dreams. It's always a damn good game. I can't wait to see this again in a couple weeks for the USFL Conference Championship.
And game number 4, we had the Defenders versus the Roughnecks. With guess what, folks? The Houston Roughnecks winning 24-21. Now, everyone's going to be talking about, this game was delayed or it wasn't on Fox right away just because of the Indy 500. Well, you know what? It's the Indy 500. And I agree. The UFL should take precedent. I think the UFL should take precedent over everything. You should be showing the UFL on every channel all the time. But some people don't believe that way. And the bigwigs over at Fox just think that the Indy 500 is a little bit more important. And I'm not going to get in an argument with them because I've done that before. And frankly, it's like talking to a wall. Man, this game was fun. Not fun, then fun. It's a weird way to describe it. It kind of had everything weird going on. It had a pick 2 to start off. DC goes down and scores. They go for 2. Guess what? Houston gets the pick on that conversion. They go down, score that. It's now 6-2. And guess what, folks? That kind of mattered later in the game when DC is going down for the game-tying drive. Well, what? They need 3 points. So if they would have gotten that 2 earlier, subtract 2 from Houston, get 2 to DC, and now you have a totally different situation. But that just goes to show you every play matters. Every play matters. 2 turnovers for the Defenders absolutely killed them this game. Jordan Tomlin only really played the first half. Then it was Mr. DeLolo. And I don't know. It's hard to describe how DeLolo did. I would say all right for the most part. I don't know. He had some really bad moments, some pretty decent moments, but he did put his team in a position to tie and potentially win the game. Defenses for both teams, garbage. Didn't look good at all. The Defenders have been having this issue for a few weeks now, and they got to shore that up if they want to kind of have a chance in the playoffs here. But I don't know. congratulations, Houston. You deserve this. Jalen McClendon, mwah, beautiful, beautiful player. And the way this Houston team has played, I feel like if he got the start in week 1, they may be a playoff team. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not, but I don't know. It would definitely be in a better position. CJ Johnson's done a pretty good job, actually, of coaching this team. And I've kind of flipped on him as a coach. I was, like, dogging him every single day. And now he's kind of won me over. And for the very fact that I just like hearing him yell at people, I kind of want to keep him around. Keep that energy going. Keep that momentum going. And the last bit I'm going to touch on in this game. The last bit. The end of this game for both the Roughnecks and the Defenders was some of the worst play calling, decision making, and clock management I have ever seen. Houston is in a position to kick a field goal, go up 2 points, and leave DC almost no time on the clock. What do? They run the ball, fumble it, DC recovers in the end zone, it's a touchback. DC has time. They have time to march down the field. They have timeouts. What do? They take the entire amount of time to march down the field, get the touchdown, and then you still have to go for 3 points just to tie it up. I don't understand if you're DC in that position, why you don't try and go as fast. Like, they were wasting time on this drive. I don't understand why you don't try and go as fast as humanly possible, because the chance of getting a 3-point conversion is so small. You still want to give yourself time on the 4th and 12 play to kind of have some more time for another drive, to maybe kick a field goal or something. I don't know. Maybe save a timeout on your drive, on your original drive. It baffled my mind how stupid some of these coaches were being. And the players too, to some extent, but it was some of the worst play calling, clock management, and decision making I have seen in a while. It was wildly entertaining, but so dumb. Hot Tub Jim, what did you think?
Houston finally gets the win. Oh, yeah. Jalen McClendon looked electric. He looked fantastic. And Delulu was a deluser. Because DC, their defense, I'm not even going to put it on him. Their defense was abhorrent in this game. They couldn't stop Houston at all in the second half. Absolute disgusting. And for both teams, some of the worst decision-making, play calling, and clock management I have ever seen.
And that'll, of course, lead me to my UFL Jim power rankings for you, the UFL fan, by me, UFL Jim, to you, your UFL ears, on this beautiful UFL Week 9 recap brought to you by the United Football League. At number 8, it is, of course, the San Antonio Brahmas. You'll notice not a ton of movement this week, just because, there's just not a lot of movement. Memphis is 7. That's what the Showboats get. Number 6, Houston Roughnecks. Better. Number 5, Arlington Renegades. Disappointing season. I cannot stress enough how disappointing of a season this is for the Arlington Renegades. Number 4, DC Defenders. They fall pretty far here just because you can't lose. You can't lose to the Roughnecks, and I know teams are kind of resting players and trying not to be too whatever, but your defense is not looking good, and you need to kind of shore some things up going into the playoffs. At number 3, it's the Michigan Panthers. Again, don't lose. These 4 teams are all like neck and neck, so it's really, you can argue almost any order. Number 2, I'm put the Stallions. Jamar, dog, absolute dog. And number 1 is the St Louis Battlehawks. I feel like they're kind of the most complete team right now. And I don't think it's very far from Battlehawks to Stallions, Stallions to Panthers, Panthers to Defenders. I think all 4 of those guys are pretty darn close. But this is just this is vibing right now. We're just vibing with the power rankings, okay? And now it is time I leave you with some words of wisdom. Take a look back at this season as a whole. That's kind of what we're doing in moments like this. The parity we have seen this year, especially, I'll say since like week 5, week 6, has just been getting better every single week. This week, the parity was fantastic. All 3 games were pretty darn close. I'll say this. 3 games were close. Well, 2 were close. and 2 of the blowouts were fun. How about that? How about that? Even the blowouts don't feel like blowouts sometimes. Maybe that's just me. It's been very, very fun. Looking forward, it looks like with some of the news coming out that relocation is not off the table for some of these teams. People are speculating like Memphis and Houston. I don't want to see it. I can understand if it does happen. I get it, but I don't want to see it. Each playoff team has like a specific weakness that I feel kind of makes the championship and the conferences sort of very interesting. Like you have DC versus St. Louis. St. Louis doesn't have that strong of a passing attack, but their run game is stellar and their defense is mwah. And they probably have the best kicker left in the postseason. DC, their offense is amazing. Jordan Thomas has been playing great, but their defense is just letting up so much that it's just, I don't know, can they win in a shootout? Can they win in a shootout? I do not know. Michigan and Birmingham both have a similar issue where it's their defensive backfields that I don't fully trust. I feel like you're going to be able to pass on them, and that's a dangerous situation to be in. Birmingham, however, I do think those two teams could also like win in a shootout type scenario. But like St. Louis, to me, they have the defense, they have the run game. It's just, if Max Duggan's back there, the passing attack is just not it. But it's nice to see that each team has at least a very noticeable flaw. So there's no perfect team going into the playoffs this season. Now let's take a look, take a step back, take a deep breath, because the season goes so fast. Remember, there's only one more shot this year to watch 4 of these teams play. Next week will be the last time you see the Memphis Showboats, the Arlington Renegades, the San Antonio Brahmas, and the Houston Roughnecks at the very earliest till 2026. And if relocation happens, maybe a couple of those teams you never see again. So hold on to this moment. Hold on to this time we have together as brethren and family in the United Football League. It's just what we need. It's what we need as fans. It's what we need as people. It's what we need as a society. We need the UFL to succeed if we want America to succeed. Okay? Please pray for this league. And then also, we're going to kind of get into the off-season vibes of speculating who's back. Who's not going to come back? Who's retiring? Who's done with UFL? Who's going to Canada? Who's going to go with the NFL and stick? It's a fun time to speculate. That's more of an off-season thing, but you got to start getting those things kind of turning in your head. And just, I can't stress this enough. Hold on. Hold on to the UFL. Hold on to these moments. Hold on to your takes. Hold on to everything. And just live in the moment for the UFL. I'm UFL Jim. I'm living in the moment. And I love you too.
Here's the deal. We got one more. We got one more.